Hey everyone, I'm Harlan Gatlin. Welcome to our interview series at ClearVoice, where we get a glimpse behind the curtain at the fantastic writers who contribute to our team. Joining me today is Jacqueline Zote. Jacqueline, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Jacqueline Zote and I'm based in Mizoram, India. And I've been a freelance writer for ClearVoice for pretty much 5 years, I think. And I'm very happy to be a part of this interview.
And we're very happy to have you here for the interview and for you to be part of our team. Jacqueline, I've been able to work with you closely on some projects, and you've
Mhm.
always done a stellar job. So I'm super excited to talk to you. Let's kick things off. What got you into the world of content marketing?
It was pretty random, to be honest. I've always loved writing, always loved making up stories and stuff like that. But I did not know how to like turn that into something useful. I just pretty much used my writing to like update my personal blog, some rants and like some very bad poetry for a while. That was back in 2012, and I was looking for work, but I was kind of tired of like call center jobs, which were most of the jobs available in India, but I was looking for something different. And someone pointed me towards content writing, and I did not know what it was. I did not know like what content was at the time, but like I looked up about it and like searched for some job openings, and then I came across this paid internship opportunity with a marketing company, and I applied and thankfully got accepted, and that's how my journey began. I learned as I went, and it has been like a very good decade so far.
That's awesome. You mentioned how you got started in content marketing and the internship.
Mhm.
We learned that you really started off as an in-house writer. Can you talk to us a little bit about your experiencing from transitioning to being an in-house writer in the content space to being a freelancer and doing work for like ClearVoice, for example?
So yeah, I was an in-house writer for quite a while. I did not know how to branch out. I was very afraid of branching out, to be honest. Like I was not afraid because I did not have bylines. I did not have like anything that I could call my own, like in front of like potential clients. So I got stuck there for a while. I think it was about 8 years into being content writer that I finally decided to branch out a little bit because I felt so stuck there. Like it was still a 9 to 5, so there was no freedom. I loved the content writing, but I did not like I did not have the freedom. So I wanted to branch out a bit, and I tried pitching and pitching when going through platforms like ProBlogger, and I was able to get a byline on Sprout Social, thankfully, and that kickstarted my journey to being a freelancer because I finally got a byline, and that was also how I got accepted at the ClearVoice Talent Network because I had a byline with Sprout, which looked pretty good for my portfolio. So I think yeah, that was about it. Like that's how my freelance journey started.
That's such an incredible journey, and just hearing how you were able to overcome those hurdles is really inspiring. Are there any specific tools and techniques that you use to conduct research and gather insights about the specific topics you're writing about?
I mostly use a lot of Google search, of course. I try to look at the top ranking content specifically, and that kind of informs me about the topic at hand. But I also look at industry research, case studies, for example. I also go through a lot of Instagram, of course, and but personally, since I don't have access to TikTok in my country, I can't find like information about TikTok, but I try to use a VPN to get past that and try to like find some information that I can. Basically, a lot of manual work myself, but yeah, I also go through like case studies from like digital marketing agencies to see if there's any recent example that I can apply for a specific topic, for example. So yeah, it's a lot of manual work, a lot of Google search, a lot of searching on other platforms on social media, and yeah, the VPNs as well for me.
Oh, absolutely. I think when you're doing that, performing that level of research, you're learning so much not only about the content written in that industry, but also about the industry itself
Hmm.
and the audience. And I
Exactly.
want to talk about audience for a bit because it's so crucial that we're, adapting content to the audience that's actually reading the content. Is there anything that you do to adapt your communication style when you're working with different clients or different industries?
It's mostly looking at what they have already written on their website, just not just their website copy, but their blog posts, and also their social media presence, and like seeing what people are commenting. I think that helps us gauge what like kind of audience that they're talking about, they're trying to speak to, and like what the audience wants from the brand.
Awesome. So speaking of audience, have you ever written an article that resonated with an audience in a way that you didn't expect?
I would start with my personal writing. This happened about 8 years back, I think. And I was just writing for my personal blog about something that intrigued me. Like mostly, I come from an ethnic community called Mizos, and we have like an oral tradition. Mostly, our stories are not written down on paper, so it gets lost in translation a lot. So I tried to share my culture by like writing about some mythical creatures that we find in folklores and yeah. So I tried to like share a short listicle on my personal blog. It was just like some random rant, like a story that I'm telling to my friend. It was very rough, a lot of writing mistakes, but I just randomly decided to share it with a national e-magazine, and they instantly accepted it and added some illustrations and shared it on their social media, and it went viral. I think it got about 20,000 Facebook shares and like a lot
Wow.
more likes. So it was
That's
very impressive. I had not expected that. So that was one of the things that made me really happy. And yeah, it was very unexpected.
It sounds like a lot of that success came from authenticity, right?
Hmm.
Being authentically you, your authentic voice.
Hmm.
This is kind of a loaded question, but could you talk a little bit about how do you balance that? How do you balance in a piece of content being able to be your authentic self and your authentic voice while also trying to capture a particular brand voice?
I think it comes down to owning the brand yourself. You have to feel like you're part of the brand and not just the writer that like they've hired. So like when you manage to feel like a part of the company, a part of the brand, then I think you can manage to like authentically bring out your brand voice, your own voice, and merge it with the brand voice. So I think a lot of it comes down to ownership.
Yeah, absolutely. Really engaging with the brand and feeling
Hmm.
like not only do you know the brand, but you're an extension of the brand. I think that's
Hmm.
crucial to success in the content space. Um, you mentioned to your background and the importance of oral storytelling in
Hmm.
your culture. We found out that you're a self-described storyteller at
Yeah.
heart. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the short stories you've written? I know that you've written fiction in the background. Are there any favorite short stories of yours that you've written?
My favorite would have to be a short story called Beyond the Looking Glass. I think I'm so sorry. I forgot the title of the short story, but it was based on a collection of characters from Mizo mythology again. But it was a unique story that I added. So it published in 2017 by Zuban Publishers in an anthology called Centerpiece: New Writing and Art from Northeast India. So that has to be my favorite piece. It kind of I kind of like brought some of my own experiences as a little girl to the story, like of being told the stories by my mother in candlelight. And mom would tell us stories because there was nothing else to do. We couldn't read, we couldn't watch TV. I think that would to be my favorite story so far.
Yeah, that's incredible. I have those same sort of experiences growing up, hearing stories, and that's what brought me to the content space as well.
Mhm.
That was my first introduction to reading and writing. So we've had a ton of time to talk about your experience and your background, how you came into content marketing, the experiences that have shaped you as a writer. But let's talk about your future for a little bit. What are your future goals and aspirations as a content writer and strategist?
At the moment, I would have to say that I haven't really put much thought into it because, like recently having given birth, I haven't had the time to like really focus on my career. But I'm trying to hopefully continue what I'm doing, but with more flexibility in terms of like timing and like how much I work every week. So that's like, it's a kind of hedonistic hedonistic dream at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. Well, as you wade into the unknown, I think that's a great place to finish to wrap up this part of the interview. I want to thank you so much for joining us today, Jacqueline. It was awesome to speak to you and learn more about your content experiences and what your future looks like as a content writer. We're going to be back with more interviews with these dynamic writers and industry leaders. To learn more about our amazing content specialists, visit clearvoice.com.